Jai Hind to everyone. I Lady Cadet P. SWETHA from TSWRDC Bongir. Today I would like to discuss about the topic cholera. Cholera is an waterborne and acute disease which is an severe and sudden in-onset diarrheal disease. It is also known as blue death disease because the change of color in infected person to blue decolorization due to the severe dehydration. It causes the death of the person also. The cholera is caused due to the drinking of water which is contaminated. The causative agent of this cholera was Vibrio cholera. More specifically, by the toxic producing stereotypes, Vibrio cholera are O1 and O139. The characteristics of Vibrio cholera. It is an gram-negative bacteria because it has thin layer called peptidoglycan, and it is also known as facultatively anaerobic bacteria because it will live or grow in the presence or absence of the oxygen molecules. When there is no oxygen molecules, these bacteria will undergo the process of fermentation, which is non-oxygen required metabolic process to break down the glucose. It is a comma-shaped bacteria. The pH of this bacteria will undergo 6.5 to 9. When we see the structure of these bacteria, here we can see the hair-like structure. It is known as pili. These will help the bacteria to cause the disease to host. And also we can see the single polar flagellum. This flagellum helps the bacteria for the mobility. And the cell wall of the bacteria is made up of lipopolysaccharides. These lipopolysaccharides was divided into three types. They are first one, lipid A. It is also known as endotoxin. And the second one is polysaccharide core. And third one is polysaccharide O. Every toxin or causative pathogenic will gives complex AB toxins. These pathogens will also give AB toxins, which are known as subunit A and subunit B. Subunit A is responsible for the enzymatic activity of the toxin, and subunit B is responsible for the binding to specific receptors in the host cell. The subunit A is responsible for enzymatic activity of the toxin, but it cannot able to bind to the specific receptor in the host cell. Subunit B is responsible for the binding to specific receptors in the host cell, but it cannot able to give the toxin because it is an non-toxic B subunit. So they both together become and do teamwork to produce an disease in human. When the contaminated water is drunk by a person, it will directly enters into the digestive tract of the person. When the Vibrio cholera enters into the intestinal tract of the person, then the B subunit will enters through the receptor or bind to receptors and enters into the epithelium. Along with the B subunit, this A subunit will also enters into the cell. When they both enters into the cell, then there will be a trigger hypersecretion of water and electrolytes. In fact, it loses as much as 1 liter fluid per hour. It also loses bicarbonates and potassiums. It may lead to the slow heartbeat or low heartbeat or kidney failures. The confirmation test for disease cholera is crystal VC dipstick, and the vaccine for the cholera is Ducorel, Sancol and Uvicol. The symptoms for cholera is rice water stool, watery diarrhea and vomitings. Treatment for the cholera is taking ORS and large amount of liquids. In some severe cases, intravenous fluids are required. The prevention for the cholera: drink and use safe water, eat fully boiled food, Wash your hands often with soap and safe water. Use latrines. By these prevention methods, we can also prevent other microorganisms which cause deadly diseases. So, stay hygienic and stay safe. Thank you and Jai Hind.